It's a Tuesday morning, and Donald Trump threatened genocide against Iran. And I'm sure you've seen the tweet by now, but I am going to read it regardless because I think that it's worth repeating what he just said. So on Truth Social, he writes, "A whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again." He actually tweeted this shit. I don't want that to happen, but it probably will. However, now that we have complete and total regime change, where different, smarter, and less radicalized minds prevail, that's ironic coming from him, maybe something revolutionarily wonderful can happen. Who knows? We will find out tonight. One of the most important moments in the long and complex history of the world. 47 years of extortion, corruption, and death will finally end. God bless the great people of Iran. Now, the obvious question is, what the fuck does this mean? Like, we can try to parse out what he is intending to do here, but he's threatening at a minimum genocide. Because genocide is the destruction of a civilization in whole or in part, and he meets that criteria. He meets the criteria for prosecution under international law, whatever the case may be. With that being said, what exactly is he planning? Because he's been broadcasting his intent to commit war crimes by targeting civilian infrastructure, nuclear power plants, desalination plants. But that is more of a slow death. You kill the population slowly by subjecting them to collective punishment with that. When he says they're going to die tonight, I don't want to catastrophize, but that sounds a lot worse than just like targeting civilian infrastructure. It tells me that he's going to either ramp up the bombing, perhaps use Moab's mother of all bombs, or potentially nuclear weapons. Nothing can be off the table because of this unhinged madman. So I guess that we're just supposed to wait around until tonight and see whether or not he nukes Iran. That's the situation where we're currently at in the world. I mean, what do you even say? This man is a fucking demon. He is the modern day Adolf Hitler, and every single person who voted to put this man in the White House, you own this. The blood is on your hands. Whatever he does to Iran, the blood is on your fucking hands. But the good news is that there are some Democrats who I think are moving in the right direction. The problem is we need to act fast. Now, for those who don't know, Congress is currently not in session. They're out vacationing around the world. Yeah, while the president is at war with another country, an illegal and offensive war where he's committing war crimes and broadcasting his intent to do more war crimes, they're vacationing. But the good news is that some Democrats are they're doing what they need to do, at least minimally. So Ro Khanna put out a video calling for Trump to be removed by the 25th Amendment.
If the United States Congress has any life left in it, every member of Congress and senator must be calling for Trump's removal today based on the 25th Amendment. He is threatening the entire destruction of a civilization. He is calling Iranians animals. He is showing a total disregard for the humanity of people in Iran, in Gaza, in Cuba. This is a moral crime. It is a war crime. We need to be demanding that Congress convene today, and we need to be invoking the 25th Amendment.
Now, this is important. Gone are the days where we just sit around and react in horror to what this madman is doing. He needs to be fucking removed. Now, you have even some people like Marjorie Taylor Greene and Alex Jones calling for him to be removed by the 25th Amendment. Now, that's great that they're doing that, but they helped get this madman into the White House. We all knew that he was mentally unstable and deeply, deeply unhinged and immoral. So whatever he does, they own that too. The blood is on their hands. But it's not just about the 25th Amendment, because that's something that Trump's cabinet has to do. Congress itself also has to act, which is why Ed Markey, senator, has called for him to be impeached and removed. I'll play you that video.
I'm sure you've seen Donald Trump's unhinged post from this morning. He is completely unstable and dangerous. Here's what needs to happen immediately. The House must come back into session to bring up and pass articles of impeachment against Donald Trump. Then the Senate needs to remove him from office. A war powers resolution is not enough. Yes, we need to assert congressional authority and stop this illegal war in Iran, but Trump is clearly a war hungry madman at odds with the American people. Impeachment is the top priority. No more war criminal in the White House.
Now, credit to him for saying that. I think that we need an all-of-the-above strategy, but those are the only two Democrats who are speaking up. Multiple Democrats now, I believe the count is 27, 28, including Ed Markey and Ro Khanna, have said we need to either remove him via impeachment or the 25th, or both. And I'm going to read you a list of names. This is a working list put together by Julia Andreone of Dropsite News. This list is changing, but it's growing very fast, which is positive to see. This includes Yasamin Ansari, Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, Shri Thanadar, Diana Diget, Sydney Kamlagar Dove, Mark Pocan, Summer Lee, Delia Ramirez, Sarah McBride, Seth Moulton, Melanie Stansbury, Maxwell Frost, Ayanna Pressley, Johnny Olszewski, Julie Johnson, Sarah Jacobs, Bonnie Watson-Coleman, Latifah Simon, Shelley Pingree, Rob Menendez, April McLean Delaney, Nikema Williams, Steve Cohen, Joaquin Castro, and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. That's 28 in total with Ro Khanna and Ed Markey. Now, notably absent from this list, Chuck Schumer, Hakeem Jeffries. Democratic leadership, they are not calling for the removal of Donald Trump. Chuck Schumer tweeted out, "This is an extremely sick person. Each Republican who refuses to join us in voting against this wanton war of choice owns every consequence of whatever the hell this is." Hakeem Jeffries tweeted, "Congress must immediately end this reckless war of choice in Iran before Donald Trump plunges us into World War III. It's time for every single Republican to put patriotic duty over party and stop the madness. Enough." Now, I really don't know what kind of limp dick bullshit this is. We're beyond talk of the War Powers Resolution. You should have done that weeks ago. But we know that both Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries, they actually tacitly support this war. So they're just saying, oh, well, Republicans have to join us to vote on the War Powers Resolution. What the fuck is that going to do? You need to impeach him. You have the power to impeach him with the votes, get Republicans on your side, and get him the fuck out of office. Perhaps you don't have the ability to do that at this moment, but that should be the move that you make currently because he is threatening to end civilization in Iran. What is this? You're just saying, oh, Republicans, you own whatever he does. Like, you're just going to let him do that? What the fuck is going on? Like, they have to resign. They very clearly cannot meet the moment. He's threatening to end civilization in Iran tonight. And what, you're going to get a vote for like Thursday for the War Powers Resolution? Fuck off. Like, this is so infuriating. He's threatening to wipe out civilization in Iran, and they're still dragging their feet. There's just no sense of urgency whatsoever from these motherfuckers. We get a condemnation on Twitter or a mean worded letter. What do you make of this? This is why things are so bad. And people in Iran are taking action. They are forming a human chain around nuclear power plants in an attempt to dissuade, the U.S. military from bombing that facility. They're doing this around the country. I'll actually put up some B-roll. They are kind of rallying around bridges in an attempt to dissuade American and Israeli forces from taking them out. But the problem is that there's this assumption that, oh, well, if there's human beings around this nuclear power plant, the U.S. clearly isn't going to bomb them when they will. They will. But I mean, like, if you're an Iranian, what do you do in this situation, right? Because they can take out your infrastructure and they kill you slowly, or they can just drop a bomb on your head and kill you quickly. A quicker death might be better, one would argue. So the situation is so fucking bleak right now, and there's just no sense of urgency. And look, I have to call out world leaders as well. How is every European leader, every leader just on the planet not calling Donald Trump saying, don't you dare fucking do this? They can use the carrot, they can use the stick. But how are they not calling him right now saying, don't you fucking dare? How are sanctions and a boycott, economically speaking, against the U.S. not on the table? Like, the world is just watching this madman threatening an entire fucking country, holding an entire group of people hostage, and we're all just going about our days, getting our fucking coffees from Starbucks. Bro, what the fuck is wrong with us as a species? I am just so fucking embarrassed. And the problem is that, like, regardless of what he chooses to do, perhaps he's bluffing. I don't think we should just stand around and wait and hope that Donald Trump on his own volition decides to make the reasonable decision. There needs to be action. Even if he doesn't do anything, he needs to be prosecuted. He cannot keep doing this. He already committed a bunch of fucking war crimes, but he can't just get away with the shit that he's getting away with, okay? Now, it's a little bit complicated because Iran is not a party to the ICC. So the ICC, the International Criminal Court, can't prosecute the war crimes being committed against Iran in the same way that they can against Palestinians. So the ICC can't do shit. Not that they would if they had the jurisdiction, but still, this is illegal under international law. It is time for the United States to get its shit together and the rest of the world, quite frankly, to get their shit together and turn this motherfucker in for war crimes. Regardless if we are a party to the Rome Statute or not, he should be tried in international courts. He should spend the rest of his life in The Hague for what he's doing. Again, even if he doesn't do anything tonight and end civilization in Iran, he's gone too far. Bombing schools, bombing bridges, civilian infrastructure, these are fucking war crimes. And world leaders just, they think they can get away with whatever they want because if they're powerful enough, then the world's just going to turn a blind eye. But we're talking about civilization. And again, I'm going to read the quote. A whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again. And we're just supposed to go on with our days and just, condemn this via tweet. I don't know what to say anymore. Like, I feel like I'm screaming into the void. I'm sure you all feel the same way, but I am frankly nauseous from seeing this tweet. The thought of what he might do in Iran absolutely sends chills down the back of my fucking neck, and I don't want to find out. I hope this is a bluff. I don't know, but regardless if it is or isn't, action needs to be taken. I know saying that is like farting in the wind, but when a president tweets out his intent to commit a genocide, I think, suffice to say, he's crossed the Rubicon. No more. I am done with this fucking bullshit. Get him out via 25th, via impeachment, via international actors intervening and escorting him out into The Hague. Whatever the fuck it takes. This man cannot be the president. He is not fit to be the president of the United States. And every single person that voted for this piece of shit, you own everything that happens to the Iranian people. If you're a Christian and you voted for him, you are not getting into heaven, motherfucker. Okay, God is going to laugh in your face if you think you're going to arrive at the fucking pearly gates after voting for this pedophile war criminal. Okay, everything that he is doing now, it's not that shocking. I mean, sure, it's shocking to see him take it this far, but we all knew that this was not somebody who was capable of having this much power and authority, somebody who should not be in charge of the big red button, and it's come to the worst possible situation. The chickens have come home to roost, and every single person who enabled this man or didn't rein him in with power should feel like shit right now, but I mean, they don't. Either way, I don't know what to say, so I'll just end the video here.